Hi guys,
Welcome,
to Life Converse.
where real conversations meet fresh perspectives.
All right, so today we'll be talking about something very, very interesting, and we have two amazing people. But before they introduce themselves, I'd like to give us a brief of what we'll be discussing, and we're looking at Christian trends, right?
Yeah, Christian trend.
Christian trend.
The topic is more like, is it a fashion or is it a trend? Or as one of our guests said, is it a fashionable trend? So actually, we are shaking tables on Christianity, which I think is going to be very interesting.
Ade, did you just say you're shaking tables?
Yes, we are.
We are shaking tables.
Hey,
So, paraventure, you're on the table. Please sit tight. You're about to sit tight. Yeah, so allow our guests to introduce themselves. Let's meet you.
All right, hi. My name is Wadi Ujola. I'm a pastor, and I try to help people build websites.
Ooh,
that's nice.
interesting.
Right.
This is you being modest, right?
What's it like that front end or back end?
Oh, front end, front end.
Fantastic.
Let me see what they do. Right, please.
Nice.
So,
I just found a partner.
Whoa. A life partner or business partner?
Business partner.
Oh, so why did you not say, oh, life partner? Call?
there was like life canvas partner or
Oh.
All right. So my name is Dapo Zakios. But my brand name is Dapo Kelma. I'm a music consultant, director, music arranger, producer. Well, I'm also a very skilled and proficient vocal coach and trainer,
Wow.
both on individual and choir levels. I am a professional background singer, worked with all the ages artists from secular to gospel. And more recently, more like a year and some maybe 3 months ago, I became a data scientist.
Fantastic.
Yeah, basically. So that's like
real quick here. I've always thought I have potential to sing like Chris Brown.
Wait,
Like
who told you that?
I've always felt like I have the potential.
Kill that feeling.
You bring out of me.
No. Kill the feeling, please.
What do you mean? You said the train celeb.
Dead it.
I think I have passion to sing
with Chris Brown.
No. As I no, it's gospel music, man. Like
So there's a Chris Brown in the gospel scene, yeah. There's
okay.
a Chris Brown in the gospel scene. So, but it now depends. Is it the Nigerian Chris Brown that I want to sound like, or the Chris Brown, there, that kind of thing? Yeah. So if it is that Nigerian own, yes.
Can you bring out the potential in my voice?
Anyone can actually be trained. I need to.
Okay, I think you're going to meet him after this section
Not at all.
because you're not going to kill our time. Please, Brown, Nigerian version, please. All right, so we'll just go straight into it, and my question is just going to go straight to Pastor Wale because he's in the ministry and is in a better place to shed more light on this particular question I want to ask. But Dapos, please feel free to chip in whenever you feel like. Okay, so Pastor Wale, can you, or how do I put it? Okay, let me say, give us like can we compare Christianity? Okay, yeah, can we compare Christianity of then and now? So when I mean then, I mean the times where our parents were youths, and then now that we are the youths and we are the ones like in the front line of the Christendom.
Oh,
Yeah,
face.
exactly.
There's one mistake I've seen us make, especially younger generations,
Yeah.
say us, is to think that there has never been a generation like us. That's a lie.
Well,
Basically, another generation that has done what the last generation did. Probably just louder because of social media. Okay. There's nothing new that we are doing in our generation that our parents didn't do. Probably the difference would just be the times in terms of culture, innovation, technology. But on the base level, character, life experiences, as youth, there's really nothing that we are facing that no other generation has faced as youth. Really, really,
okay.
in that sense. So when you talk about Christianity, they have also experienced the exact same things that we experienced, the arguments, the fun parts of things. Like I said, we're just louder because of social media. Our parents, some of them, when we were youths, my dad, for example, is telling me stories of how we used to follow this person, like how we used to follow that person. And then it just comes to me that this whole thing called life is just like recycling. It's just a a new generation facing the same feeling older people have faced. And then as you notice that as you are maturing, there's some things that your younger ones are beginning to do, and like, I don't do you don't do this. And then if you take a step back, you will see that there were things that you were doing and you're thinking you are the infant. Like, what do you I've been there, done that. And that's exactly how life is when it comes to youth, being there, done that. The only difference is just a few um advancements in technology and innovation.
So you're saying now that technology and social media has kind of like advanced our own generation.
Every generation advances with technology.
Yeah.
Definitely. But what we have now is yes, advancement in a sense, but I do not feel on a base level we are better or we are worse. I think particularly to say it with a different perspective of life because of technology and evolution.
So like, how does that like? Now the conversation we're talking about, I think the question was about like, uh, traditional.
Yeah.
Good old-
Traditional Christianity and now.
So like, how does that see it?
So there's really nothing like modern or traditional Christianity if you dip it, because Christianity is one of the things that must not be innovated.
Oh, okay.
You can't take a 2,000-year-old tradition and innovate it, especially Christianity. It's the reason why Apostle Paul was very clear. Vil Timothy, say this thing that I have taught you, yeah, hand down to faithfulness, meaning people will keep the same tradition. Christianity is up 2,000 plus years.
Yeah.
You are not supposed to change his outlook, changes. You should not even bend Christianity to modern day culture. You know why?
Right.
Interesting.
I think.
Christianity has a pattern. And that's why you see nothing works except for what was laid down from the beginning.
Yeah.
You can't get more people into church by becoming more tech savvy or more hip or more urban. No, you won't. You probably get them and draw them, but you might not get them to Christ. The way you bring people to Christ is the preaching of the gospel. And that's the laid down foundation from the very beginning. Jesus Christ said to the world, preach the gospel and make disciples. Every other thing you do aside from that makes Christianity watered down.
I want to come again. It's some outcome. So like, okay, I don't really agree with most of the say. Or just let me just lay out data about it. I agree with you that the message of Christianity, I feel like Christianity even has been used to justify the Ku Klux Klan. Christianity has been used to justify slavery. Christianity has been used to justify a lot of terrible acts in the world. Actually, right? So I want to say the message of Christ, not the religion, right? The message of Christ um doesn't change, right? It's built on love.
Buttress my point.
Wait, hold on. No, I want to. The innovation part of what you said here is what I don't agree with.
You just buttress my
No. Let me land, because I'll give let's talk about examples, right?
Okay.
U version,
Yeah.
Bible file.
Yeah.
Okay. I know there's some churches that don't agree with you using Bible.
On your mobile. Yeah.
Now, the innovation in that particular thing, right, is that normally when you buy a hard book Bible, buy like maybe an NIV or.
You buy other translations and just.
But in the thing in your Bible app, you have over 10 different versions, right? And that actually aids your study of the Bible much better than if you had like the just like.
You have like 5 or 6 open.
So that's actually an innovation.
Yeah.
A tech innovation.
Again, I told you. Again, I've said innovation and technology is the difference between us and.
And okay, fair.
No, but you said you can't innovate.
You can't innovate Christianity, the faith.
But I feel
So what you are saying is, we have had innovations over time that has helped, helped Christianity. There's no technology advances, and technology advances everything in meeting any age. Be it Christianity, be it war, because it's technology that helps win war better. Whatever technology meets, it helps to maybe bring more flavor and spice there. So when we say that you can't innovate Christianity, I'm talking about the faith called Christianity. There is a pattern to it.
Yeah.
What you are saying,
The message.
The message, yeah. I
this
feel
version is a Bible app, that helps us to read the Bible.
yes.
You haven't innovated Christianity by bringing the version app.
So what have you
What have you done?
I'm just still made us read the Bible, yes, in a better way. Because every other thing that technology brings forth.
But that's a crazy. I don't know. Do you want to say something? Yeah, I don't.
Truly. So my question is, I'm going to ask you a question out of what you just said, right? How do you, no, not even how now.
Yeah.
Let me pick it again. You said technology. So what I would say is, I think the focus for us in this generation is we pass the message through different means, right? The message is the same, but the method at which we pass it is what differentiates us from the past.
Example.
Okay, so for now, like now, as we're having this conversation, we're passing a message, right? And what platforms are we using? The social media, right? We're using that to like pass message to people that, oh, you need to know this, you need to know that. So that's innovation, don't you think?
I know of an age where people used to put speakers on the road. And
Yes, morning cry.
Television came in,
Yeah,
and then internet came in, broadcast
Did you
came.
tell me that? Yeah.
Again, I have not disputed innovation and technology. Remember from the beginning, I said technology and that technology has advancements in whatever it meets. When I say you can innovate, Christian, what I'm talking about is the faith, the pattern of how we use the faith, the principles that were laid down. So when people talk about ancient landmarks,
yeah.
you can't innovate those things. E.g., you can't disciple people online. And I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
Let me tell you why you can't. Broadcast. Let me tell you why you can't do that.
So
Discipleship.
Pastor Wale, sorry to interrupt you. COVID came.
Yeah.
Did the preaching of the gospel stop?
No, he did not.
No, I want to hear why you can't decide.
Let me tell you why you can't disciple people online. Now, COVID is an outlier event. How often do we have such events that don't make people gather?
Okay.
You can't use outlier events to determine life.
Okay.
really almost
You get
yes.
You can't use outlier events to determine life. So this, even in war-torn countries, people disciple people. So for example, yes, I'm a huge fan of remote works and hybrid. And yeah, I like because it gives me time. When it comes to the church, you can't attend the church online. Do you know? Like if you're attending the church online, let's say an outlier event, like, oh, I'm not able to go to church today. So I watch online, I follow service. Or if you're truly going to part of a church, we have to be there physical.
Okay.
So when I say you can't disciple, the pastor, if your pastor does not know you, your pastor is not disciple.
Okay. Well, you know what? Okay, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
So let's just we're gonna get. I want us to take the conversation towards music. All true, right? Well, before we, okay, I don't know. I was gonna respond to that, or let me not, because it's gonna create a backup. But so let's now tap on the music space, right? You were on a very popular program called The Voice, right? So, it's a big mic.
It's a big man. No.
I think you got like third place.
Yeah, third runner up. Yeah.
Runner up. Like that's massive.
No. And now you're a music minister in one of the biggest churches in Nigeria, right?
Was the world in the world.
In the world,
Globally.
in the world. So I feel like okay now. Please, I love the church was here. We say wall of, not the biggest.
One of.
So that's just as a perspective, but
It's all one body of Christ.
so definitely, there's no mining.
Yeah, thank you. So I want to talk about the music aspect of this conversation. Now, some people say that, when we're talking about like how, the conversation of how Christianity was practiced back in the day and now practice now. music as well has kind of changed, hasn't it? Because like a lot of the day, back in the day, maybe it was all moral, praising the Lord always. But now you have even like rap gospel music. You have like pop, indie music, jazz gospel. So owing to the conversation that we're having about how these days can choral acoustics like that. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so first off, excuse me. So first off, music is an art. All right, music is both an art and an act in itself.
Okay.
Do you understand? And for something like art, it means it can evolve. Yeah. For something that is an act, it means it can also improve.
All right.
Do you understand? Now, bringing music to the church, the early, music has always existed from the time of even the Old Testament. I mean, remember, just yeah. So remember, and when the Israelites crossed the Red Sea, it was Miriam who led, the victory song, and yeah, exactly. So music has existed from like way back. Now, what happens is that as the times go further,
Yeah.
people also outgrow trends. People outgrow occurrences that work. Let me give you a very fun example. Now, I don't think children in the maybe people that were kids, that were infants in the 70s or 60s could have been able to do do and around with a tab.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
kids now,
Yeah.
do you understand? So you see probably a year old or even not even up to, or maybe a year and some months, like Coco Melon, Nickelodeon, that kind of thing. And yeah, they're like, so I think that is what it's like. So if claps and all those other things and maybe just tambourines worked in those times,
Yeah.
these times have shown that enhancement of music can be very possible with diverse use of various instruments, various genres of music. And so to establish, so gospel is not a genre of music.
Okay.
Gospel is the message. The gospel is Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I always like to tell people that I'm not a pastor, or I'm not ever going to be a pastor, but because there's a way the word of God runs through me, and it helps me to relate even with the world outside Christianity. That is those on, maybe the secular guide
Yeah.
kind of thing. But the gospel is Jesus Christ. Now, how do you now say music in the church has evolved? Because we can put the gospel into rap. We can put the gospel into R&B. There are excellent R&B artists that sing the gospel, but
Yes.
sing it in R&B. J Moss is an excellent R&B singer. Fred Hammond is an excellent R&B.
Yes. Yes.
Fred Hammond did This Is a Day, but Fred
Mhm.
Hammond has this album, God, Love and Romance. And because the latter, the double latter actually emanates from the originator of love and romance itself, which is God.
Yeah.
Jonathan. So it is very valid.
Right.
There is rap, Leclerc, and the likes of them. There is pop. I mean, there is hip hop. There's pop. There is the what's this guy's name now? This guy in Nigeria that sang I can't remember his name, but yeah, they're like guys actually do amapiano and all that. So yes, the innovation of new school music from the old
Yeah.
is an interesting one, and it is one that would never stop finding expression in terms of innovation, because in 5, 7, 8 years time there would be another type of music that would still talk about the gospel. The gospel is Jesus. The gospel is timeless. Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. But how we can represent Jesus to different generations for time can differ.
Okay, so a lot of baby boomers will say that when it sounds rap, gospel music distracts from the rap gospel music, yeah, distract from the gospel, as you've said. For instance, I know there are churches that don't allow drums in their operations. And some older people will also say that the secular, for instance, you said something about amapiano, that it doesn't bring glory to God and things like that. How would you respond to that?
Okay, just to add to that, so there was a video I saw online in a church setting where people were using Ayebo, Ayeba, somebody that beats. And
So please see comment what is he?
And they actually twist the whole thing and like Ayebo, Ayebo, somebody had it, like Jesus, something. I'm like, hello. What's going on here?
Why?
I don't know.
Ever may count as a chant. Yeah. May count as a chant, yes. Maple, I
Wait.
do not know.
Okay.
But now let me make us understand something. That first, now going from your first question, what's your first question?
About how.
Okay, how rap music distracts.
Yes.
So I think that is already defeated by the fact that rap is also an expression of music. As
Music.
the origination of rap in itself. Rap was only made. So let's not make the mistake of pinning rap to people who made it popular. There were people who started to do rap, and it wasn't popular at the time. But because of the personality of those that made rap popular, so we tend to see it as some devilish kind of, expression or devilish kind of avenue to do music.
As rebellious.
Yeah, or as rebellious music. I mean, if you want to do a diss track, it's not going to be R&B. It's going to be rap, that kind of thing. But there are people who started the genre called rap, and they must have done well with it for people to have understood that this genre promotes a type of violence, So let's just change the words. So the same way you can change the words of maybe innocent rap and then put funny words.
But why are we changing the words? Why can't we get an original lyrics, like original song? Chris,
Yeah.
no, I'm not saying they are not. Like, why do we have to wait for the secular guys to bring? Yeah, and then will now inculcate those.
But I just add something easily. So I think the first problem is how we view the entirety of everything. I would not recommend rap in church. There's singing in church where say we are worshiping, and then there's enjoying music as a Christian. I enjoy gospel rap. I enjoy a piano gospel. But when I'm in church, my choir knows that I'm not expecting them, because there's a sanctity of worship that must be maintained in church. It is that little liberal allowance that has caused something like Ayeba
Exactly.
in church. You see, church is church. When we gather in church, we have one focus: worship. And as much as we can say, oh yeah, we understand what's happening and all of that, the truth of the matter is, it's always better if church has a solemn service. Let's just go into church. We're worshiping God. We do our preaching. We do everything. And then outside that, we know that we are all jumping everywhere. We are good. We are that.
Does that not promote a type of pretense or a double life? Not a
No,
double life.
but
It's not good and bad, but maybe hippie and soft.
But that's the problem. What? They're not bad. My headship is worship. I'm worshiping God.
so I don't think worship has to be a slow song.
Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be very honest with ourselves.
Okay.
And there's this RCCG choir, bro, SOP, Robbie Million, smarter man, my guys. And then, would you see singing Baba? Oh, me say that, like if you can check my playlist, I listen to it so by this thing in church, and then you are genuinely taking God, how has God saved me? How has God helped me? Wait. Think genuinely doing that, or like praise rap? I'm like, I've read my life. This it.
He worship God a free.
And in truth,
Now, I feel like what you're basically saying, right,
Yes.
is that if God has called somebody to be a rapper, right, to elevate right. So you're saying that those kind of song can't invoke like this
spirit.
God or things like so. With their particular songs, even if they've been called to
I
perform the
promise you, I have a genuinely. How many of you here, one singing rap, began to be evoking the spirit of God? Is like
Me. Let me tell you. Well, let me use one for instance. You got it all at the end.
Okay, yeah. Wando, yeah.
That song, listening to it, the beats, the lyrics, you can consciously imagine. Sorry, that's Afro. It's so.
I'll say it's some gospels, but I don't think that's dangerous.
There's another thing, yeah. There's another thing. Foundation is also key. It could be that you were exposed to while growing up. Because is very instrumental to what you accept
Same.
in your journey of.
But I think the real problem again is, I think they're not listening. There are songs that we can listen to, and I've not condemned anybody. In fact, like I said, I listen to this song myself, even as a pastor. Maybe I'm in the car or something, I jam up to these songs. But when you are in church, church has a mood of worship. There's a 2,000-year history that I know I've been shouting this thing. That church that took, we can't, that's what I mean.
But church is not just a place.
Do you know that most of these innovations came within 100 to 200 years ago? Most of these things that we call innovations,
Right.
like some of these, and some of these kind of songs. That's what I'm telling you. One of the ways to deal with things that we do not agree with is that check the earliest sources. How did they deal with it? Because rap is not a problem.
Pastor Wale, Pastor Wale,
Well,
let me interrupt you a little bit. Don't you think that there was knowledge gap?
knowledge gap.
Yeah.
They were more intelligent than us.
I don't think so. So I don't think so. This intelligence is a function of exposure.
Exposure, yeah.
At this time, is exponentially more.
Oh wow!
Than
It's
what
mentioned a modern day philosopher that you would read in school today and will beat either Plato, Aristotle, or any of those guys.
Come on now, don't do that. They are.
I'm not saying they're not modern day philosophers. See, when you say intelligence is exposure, I'm telling you that when we look at olden days people, it's as if they had this. They're not that we know more. My sis and my bro, that's the way when it comes to church, the older the better.
Okay. All right. Okay. Hold on. Let's take this conversation to a new dimension, right? And I think that's I think we're really unpacking a lot of things. And so what I want us to unpack now is payments. And I'm going to start from here. Oh, no. I want to start from since we're going to build from music. So I'll build from music, then we get into like
Ministry, yeah.
Now, I've seen online that some people say that when there are Christian concerts, people should not pay for Christian concerts and things like that, right? So let's start from there, right? Now you have a bunch of like gays, baba, like Endless Ocean,
Yeah.
all these guys that come to perform at an event. Right? Now a lot of people are saying that because they are singing worship side like
Christian gospel song.
shouldn't pay to go to those events because they're going to praise God and things like that. What do you think?
That Paul was right now. The gospel is the message.
Okay.
If you listen to some of their songs, they're not singing gospel songs, they're singing Christian songs.
Okay. So should people pay?
This is the message of Jesus Christ and his blood and cross.
So should people? Yeah, now
If you're talking about Christian concerts,
yes,
absolutely
people should not pay.
pay. If
Okay.
you're doing
For the concert.
Christian concert,
Okay.
please pay.
Okay.
Because time does.
You're sounding like you have a bot.
Yes, a boat. I'll call it here.
That boss.
The concerts, please pay.
Okay.
Like you're going out, you're going to have fun. See, when I hear Christian concert, I'm not going primarily to worship as it were.
Right.
I'm going to a place where I can relax, I can have fun. As a Christian, like I will not be. I know that my spirit man is not influenced by things that are wrong. Do you get? So when you now come to church, if you are doing ministry, that's where I now draw the line to say, I do not believe it.
Wait.
Yeah, let's hear from that part before we come back to Pastor Wale.
What sound is now? Sound is like good sound right now. You start from probably 3 million, 5 million upwards. Good sound. Depending on the volume.
Depending on your capacity, like the capacity of
Like concert. You can still do 1 million naira sound. You're like sometimes if you join wire like this, we're rolling the wire in the mic already. Yeah. So
we agree on that. The ministry.
I want to lay out some facts real quick before we get into that. Anglican Communion, the Anglican Church worldwide, they pay their ministers, right? They pay the bishop to the archbishop, so everybody, the vicar, venerables, all of that. They get paid for the services. Now, the way the Anglican system even works, they can ship them from like Lagos to Kano, for instance.
More like transfer.
Yeah, transfer. Personally pays so. I'm not saying there's no I'm not arguing with you. I'm just feeling. I was just want to see your back and get to it. But that's it. So I just want to lay is a push. I want to lay down that as a backdrop for us and for the audience that are watching.
Yes.
Right. So you're saying that RCC Church,
Which full-time pastor,
full-time pastor that they do that as well.
pastor.
Now, the conversation, something happened between Tim Dakolo and the particular minister online. I was just so much conversation.
And not even just them. There've been a whole lot of conversation around it.
But that's Tim Dakolo one of recently was one of the. Now, let's get into it. Now, ministration. Ministration can be music, ministration can be preaching.
Can be spoken words,
It doesn't what?
anything.
People. And I think, okay, let's start with Pastor Wale. Should
Ministers.
be paid to minister? No.
Why?
Yeah, because they should be paid.
Okay, right. Because we are a minister. Now, let me help you with your Anglican bishop or theology or theory. I mean, say theology. Don't mind. It's not theory. That what you are saying now. Do the Anglican bishops determine what they are paid?
The church determines what they are paid.
You know. Or do they determine? Do they call the shots on their payments?
Maybe we don't know about that, but there should be a structure around it.
And I would like to be corrected.
Yeah.
From the Anglican church determines this.
That's what I'm saying. So from my own perspective,
They can be put in the quest.
the pastors I know
Mm.
are not the ones that determine what you say.
Okay, so the
Now see why I call that.
The form of salary.
That's why I call that honorarium.
okay.
I called it a honorarium, like for your service, because what they are doing, they can't necessarily pay them commensurate.
Right.
Do you get? So if you're talking about ministers now, ministers are doing the job with their life from the life. Not think I come from a pastor's house. I'm also a pastor myself. Even from that salary, do you know how much of that money still goes back to the
To the church, okay.
to all of that.
Sorry, can I come in there? So
Please call me.
even in our respective secular jobs,
Yeah.
what the receptionist does, there's no form of payment that can actually
Measure up to that, yeah.
See the cafe society, everybody actually paid that.
Then a negotiated pay with your employer now. If it
So the
Sean, is that what I'm coming in now is that I may not support artists billing enormously for what they come to do, yeah, but I am very big on appreciating these ministers really well, such that what they have done, yeah, really good. So because what they have done is something you may have just called your choir to do, but because your choir did not do it, God, somebody else did do.
appreciate.
So yes,
If I will bring you to my church and not give you some form of
but
cute
Pastor Wale,
honorarium,
Very pastor.
when you say that pay in that sense, you should not put a price on ministry.
but Pastor Wale, do these guys have crew members? They have people that are depending on them.
No, that is the reason funny to me, though. Right? When I call you to come and minister,
Yeah.
don't worry about your poor members. See, I know someone will be like, but we decide. Don't see, come that the way you are. If I want your crew members, I'm going to tell you, how many people are you coming with? I'm going to take care of this. If I call you to come and minister, because a lot of people I have crew members. Now let me push this to you. I'm not going to pound up. Shooter. If a pastor is preaching, wants to give, maybe you want to give me to your church now. I say, fine, okay, you're going to bring me $1 million. What do you look at me as?
All right. Okay. We've actually had a lot of fun.
I feel really like
I'm really sorry, but we're running out of time. It's actually about time. And I feel like we should actually do this again because it's a big conversation.
yeah.
Conversation. But we can probably do a part 2 or something like that.
But-
Can I?
Well, sorry, I want this thing.
So I feel like a lot of things have been established. And we've been able to. It's just if we could go for like 3 hours, we'll reach it.
Keep going.
In us trying to wrap up now, I think what we'll just do is like get a final comments from our guests, and then we'll put a pin on this. It's something that I feel like we really need to bring back. So Dapo, go first.
okay. So I'm not going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
If someone is contractually signed to work in your church as a singer or a musician, pay the person. If an artist, a Christian artist, is invited to your church to spice up your service, maybe the word is the problem. Honor the person and honor the person well. I mean, if the person needs to come with their own
Team.
members,
Yeah.
I think you should honor it.
Yeah.
Yes, because it doesn't have to be too much rehearsals, but the person there's something that oneness is in spirit does. Unity, there's something it does. Then lastly, if a pastor goes to another church to minister, honor the pastor. Everything is seed and harvest. If you sow into this person and this person is sent by God, you would harvest it. Maybe not in your members, maybe in every son. Yeah, do you understand? That's what I quote.
Okay. Pastor Malibu, it's your
That was lovely. Final conversation again. If it's ministry you're working onto board, can't charge people for it. Is that basic? Yes, honor. I'm big on honor. You won't come to my church and I'll not at least honor you to the level I can. And I think people also misunderstand honor for quantity. Can I not have as much to honor you, but I genuinely honor you? Quick example, you might be asking for a 10,000 and I have maybe 2,000 naira and I give you one fine.
Right.
You might not see it as honor, but somebody else gave you 8,000 from his 8 million. You might see it as honor. So let's sometimes not misunderstand.
As they really did.
Misunderstand that whole and conflate that ritual. Nobody should. If you're a minister, if you're an artist, you're having a concert, absolutely charge the gate fee. If you're coming to church to minister unto God and His people, leave money out of it. Churches you to do well to thank
them. That okay.
Tell the people where their capital well is $10,000 too.
Well,
Yeah.
my well can be 10,000 naira, but it's 90%, and your well can be 1 million and it's 5%. Well, by not really honor me, I give me 1 million. I think your honor because it's a lot, and it might not be small. So that's how it should be. When you are going to churches to minister, don't charge any more because you do well too. But
Come on, and this is
Really, it has big.
actually big.
Yeah.
You know, I really like the perspectives that were being a musician who would actually, you know,
I've gone through the shaggy. I'm traveling all the way to Ibadan. I've collected Miss Fire Jew.
And then that's why we'll call you back and you can rest something. But this need it right. Say that pay. Think that so now
Chelsea we're already on that. Yeah. But I think one thing I've learned is that I think for me it's the terminology. Is it salary? Is it
Paid.
pay? Always said suit. Do you understand? So I think those how we call it determines our pursuit.
Yeah, but they should be appreciated.
But she should
Mm.
definitely.
She's adjective. Well state when gets and go by the message. You miss it, you miss out.
The wonderful episode with Coach the on live canvas podcast. This is what we do, unpack real conversation, eats fresh. Biz. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow.
And don't forget to share with your friends, share with everybody. And subscribe.
All right.
Yeah.
Good day and take care.